Hello, everyone. My name is Mihaela, and my YouTube channel is The Art of Experiencing. First of all, I would like to let you know the reason for the name. As a member of the Actor Studio, I don't know if many of you know what the Actor Studio is. A lot of people don't. I've been asked about it here in New York, where I live. I've been asked about it when I travel internationally to do workshops of acting. Everywhere I go, people ask exactly what the Actor Studio is. They have a little bit of an idea, they've heard of it. So I'm just going to give a little bit of an explanation because I want to be able to give you an insight into how, as an acting coach, as an acting teacher, I am able to analyze real life characters. So the Actor Studio was founded in the 1950s by director Elia Kazan and Lee Strasberg, who became known as the father of the method. You might have heard of method acting. Some people are swearing by it, and other people say that method acting is something that actors should not use as a technique in their acting. If method acting is correctly understood, and if you were not taught by so many people out there who teach it incorrectly, then there's no danger attached to it. That is just my opinion. I've been teaching it for a long time. Going back to the Actor Studio, founded by Ilya Kazan, Lee Strasberg, another person, I can't remember the name. It was when these people wanted to change acting technique from having characters be played by actors who come on stage and pretend feelings or pretend gestures. They wanted to change it to create actors who would come on stage and portray real human beings in the characters they were playing, with the characters they were playing. So the fictional story is something that remains fictional, but the actors in those fictional characters must have real feelings. They must have real happenings to them in the moment they are playing those scenes. The reason why I have such a big problem when people associate Meghan Markle with acting is because she doesn't do any of those things. When the Actor Studio was founded, the craft of acting became known as the art of experiencing. So that's where the name of my YouTube channel comes from. The art of experiencing gives you so much more into what that real experiencing in the fictional stories is. The actors started to be trained to know how to provoke something personal from their life that happened to them in the past, or that plus the imagined scenario from the fictional story they are telling, to be able to, in the moment, spontaneously have real, truthful feelings. Going back to what Meghan Markle is doing, which has nothing to do with truth in the moment of her experiences on the Netflix channel. Every time we see her on a stage with Prince Harry, to me, they do not move me, no matter the use of language they have. They're grabbing on words they think are going to give us emotions when they speak them, but because they don't link them to something that is truthful inside of themselves, nobody feels anything. Or people are watching and they don't understand why they're so difficult to watch, as it was for me to watch the 6 hours of the Netflix series they've done. The fictional stories have to be lived by actors experiencing real feelings. I hope that makes sense. When that is the craft of acting, which again is the art of experiencing, that's how, as a trained actress, as an acting teacher, an acting coach, I can automatically put myself in the scenarios I'm trying to analyze. In this case with Harry and Meghan, instinctively, I go there by allowing my senses to take me there. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody who started to go to my YouTube channel and started to send me comments and insights and input how to make it better. I'm trying to do so as I'm trying to navigate this world of the digital media, which I'm not very good at. I started my channel about 10 years ago, but then I kind of put it to the side because I decided that it was going to be so difficult for me to ever get to understand how to work this channel. And now recently, I've come back to it about a year ago. Within the last 2 videos that I've posted, which have to do with Harry and Meghan and their show, their so-called show, spectacle, not even that. I don't even want to give them those words. I don't even know. Mockery, delusional story they want to tell. People have responded to those 2 videos, and I'm so appreciative. Please keep on subscribing as I'm trying to grow the audience. I lost my, what did I want to say? Oh, the association with Meghan, Harry, and acting. And so many people consider her to act her way through scenarios, or she's done the performance of a lifetime. That always makes me so mad because, like I said before, real acting for people who are real actors, who are trained to be real actors, they cannot act themselves through something because they have to experience, they have to live truthful feelings in the moments they are living in as characters. Doesn't matter if the characters are from a fictional story, doesn't matter if their characters they're portraying are from real life stories, they still have to live those feelings in the moment the camera is on, or in the moment they are on stage on a theatrical, doing a theatrical project performance. The association with Meghan and acting has to stop. She was a B-list celebrity. She remains a B-list celebrity. The only reason why she's given a bigger platform now is because she is associated with the royals, because she married Prince Harry. I want to say there's nothing wrong with not making it as an actress, as an A-list actor, because it's really difficult. As I told you, those actors who have made that, think of some names of the actors that you watch or you feel like you believe what they're doing. For them to be able to bring those emotions that are real from inside themselves and lend them to those characters they portray is a very difficult task, because you have to reveal so many different parts of who you are that are not always the nice parts. Sometimes you have to do that, yes, which is okay. But even revealing beautiful parts of who you are takes a lot of courage, honestly, because in society we are judged if we do that, being considered to make us arrogant, being considered to make us feel like we know better than other people. Accept all of the good and all of the bad and everything in between and admit it. Admit it. For example, there was a comment that I received from one of a viewer on my YouTube channel, and she was so honest to tell me that it was very distracting, the fact that for many of the videos that I was doing, I was using those cartoon glasses. She told me that it was very distracting, and she wanted to know why did I decide to do it. I automatically responded, and I told her that it was because of my vanity. I have contact lenses right now, so I don't need to wear glasses, but sometimes I'm too lazy to put the contacts in when I do a video. So I wear my prescription glasses. I cannot see. I have these very heavy prescription glasses. And in my mind, I thought that if I were to cover my real glasses, which show that I'm getting older, that I cannot see, I thought that if I covered my real glasses with those cartoon glasses, it was going to make me look more young. It was going to make me look more beautiful, which I was wrong. She let me know that I was wrong. My sister told me this some time ago, but I didn't pay attention to her. I wish I would have, because she knows. She's amazing. When this amazing lady commented and asked me those questions about my cartoon glasses, I automatically decided to respond. And I said, I did it for the reasons that I just mentioned to you. I wasn't trying to come up with another reason, because I didn't want to reveal my vulnerability by saying that I'm getting older and I don't want people to see me get older and use prescription glasses. No, I said that's why I did it. I did it because I thought it was going to make me look younger, because I was trying to cover up the fact that I'm wearing prescription glasses, which will reveal that I'm getting older. So also, there was this moment in, I don't remember which episode of the Netflix, but there was a moment where Meghan took Archie in her arms and she was pointing to a picture of Princess Diana on their wall in their house. And most people didn't understand why they felt this awkwardness in that moment when she went to the picture. To me, going back to what I said before, I don't even have to judge because we're not supposed to judge characters as actors, because if we do, the same way that Harry and Meghan judge everybody else in their lives in order to keep their story going, because that's all they have. They don't have anything that they can base their story on because they have no creativity. They have no innovative spirit in them. So they have to put people down. In the case with the royals, the media, the British people, whatever excuses they find, they judge people. We as actors, and I as an acting teacher and as an acting coach, when I work with actors and we're trying to analyze the characters that they're working on, we try not to judge them, no matter how they seem to be from the beginning at the first read of the script. Because if you judge people, you're going to have such a limited, narrow understanding of who they are. You're not going to allow yourself to see all of who those characters are, all of who those people are. So when I am doing the analysis on these characters, or I'm doing the breakdown of something in one of my videos, I don't judge them. I automatically just drop. There's a word that we use in acting. I drop into that scenario intuitively because of the training that I've had for so many years. So when Meghan took Archie and she was looking at the picture of Princess Diana, and some people said to me that was so awkward to watch, but they didn't know why. My explanation was, because I put myself in that situation, my explanation was this. I am from as you can tell, English is not my first language. That gives away that I was not born here. I'm from a small village in Transylvania, to pronounce it the way that we pronounce it in Romanian. I came to this country the first time when I was around 14. I went to high school in the States, and then I went back to college in Romania when I was 18. I was in the States during my high school years, went back to college in Romania, got my bachelor's in acting, did some acting while I was in Romania. And then in 1997, I came to New York. I went to get my master's degree to be able to teach, because very early on, I realized that making it as a movie star, making it as an A-list actress was going to be a very difficult road. And I did not want the uncertainty and the financial insecurity. So I went back to school, and going back to school to get my master's degree from the Actor Studio Drama School, I happened to be in the same class and in the same year with the one and only Bradley Cooper, whom now everybody knows. But at the time, 20 some years ago, he was just a humble, wonderful human being who was also going to get his master's degree at the same program that I was in. So he made it as a movie star. I did not make it as a movie star. I am admitting that to myself. Of course, it was difficult. It took me some years to be able to actually say that I am going to teach now, because I'm never going to make it as a movie star. But I'm recognizing that truth. If you don't recognize that truth, there's nothing that's going to keep you on the path of truth. If you start with a lie, the lie is going to follow you. You're going to be on the path of lies. The training that I've had at this actor studio program for 3 years, and then teaching and working as an acting coach with different actors, directors on different movie projects, and so on, that training of putting myself into the scenarios that I'm analyzing becomes something that is organic. You don't have to think about it anymore. You just kind of drop into it. It's the same as if I was working out physically. The more you work out physically, the more you don't have to think about how you're going to run. And the more you do it, the faster you run and the more in shape physically you become. Well, in acting, it's the same thing, but you also have to train yourself emotionally, or there are exercises for the soul, as they become known in some of the people who have given them the name going back to the father of acting, Stanislavski, and all of that. I'm not going to bore you with it. When Meghan went to that picture of Princess Diana with Harry, and she was saying to him, look, there's a grandma. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly. There's Grandma Diana. How can anybody just point to Princess Diana as if she's just another grandma? Meghan's attitude is always that she is superior than anybody else, and because she doesn't accept the reality, which is, I cannot believe how privileged I am and grateful I am to be able to say that to my child. I have two children who now have their grandma, the late Princess Diana. If you don't acknowledge that in the way that you show Archie the picture, that gratitude and that privilege, if you don't admit to it, pointing to Princess Diana as if she was just another grandma sounds fake. The way that I was going into analyzing from an acting perspective, coming from a small village in Romania, when I got to the United States, and I was going to the actor studio program for 3 years to get my master's degree with Bradley Cooper. Then the actor studio, an institution, which is a place for artists, very few in the world, because it's very difficult to get in. You have to audition. People like Dustin Hoffman auditioned, I don't know how many years. You can only audition once a year, I believe. Other people, I don't remember the names of famous actors, but they've auditioned for many, many years before they were able to get in. Well, somehow I got in the first time that I auditioned. So when I walk into that place, which has such a history going back to the 1950s, when I walk into that place and I see all these pictures of all the greats, such as Marilyn Monroe, Marlon Brando, I can't even tell you all of the pictures, Ellen Burstyn, Al Pacino. Every time I go into that place, no matter that I've been a member of it about 20 years now, I still walk into that place and I cannot believe that I was able to become a member, knowing my backstory, knowing that I have come from this very small village in Romania. And now I walk into this place as a member of it. I am still grateful every time I walk in. I still look at those pictures all over, and I cannot help but say, oh my God, I cannot believe that I was able to make it. And I am so privileged to be able to work as an actress on that sacred stage, the same stage that so many of the greats have been on. It doesn't matter how many years pass since I've become a member. The gratitude and the privilege sentiment remain with me. That's the reality, because I am admitting to my past. I am not ashamed of my past. I'm not erasing my past, having come from a small village, having no one in my family in the entertainment business. And here I am, having made it into this prestigious institution, the actor studio. If I would walk into that place and I would decide I've always been a superior person, I've always been a superior actress, and my getting into the actor studio is so natural and it's so normal, I would deny the real feelings that a human being should have. That makes someone a narcissist. That makes someone delusional in their thought process. That makes someone not pay attention to the real feelings they have in the moment, feelings of being grateful, feelings of being thankful to have come so far from where you started. I hope I make sense. I hope I'm not going all over the place. So this video is a little bit of an explanation for those of you that might have questions about how can an acting teacher understand or analyze real human beings. This is my explanation, my insight into the way that my training allows me to do that. If you have any questions, if you have any commentary, if you have any confusion about what I said, please let me know. I always appreciate your input, as it is helping me to improve my YouTube channel. Oh, there was another comment that was made about the fact that they looked at one or two of my videos and they felt that they have learned so much from it, and they have nothing to do with acting. So they felt that my insight in describing this psychology transformed into behavior of these two, in this case, Harry and Meghan, helped them, even though they're not in the field of entertainment. And I've always wanted to be able to bring to the public that acting tools are not just for people who happen to be in a creative field, or who are actors or directors or screenwriters. I have, after so many years of teaching, come to understand, just by the feedback that I was getting from so many people that I've worked with over the years, some classes that I've taught and I'm still teaching are with professionals and people who have nothing to do with acting. They came into the class because they've always had an inquiry. They were always curious to know what acting is. They wanted to just give it a go as a hobby. And they left the class being in awe of how much it helped them in their life, which they never thought that those were going to be the results from an acting class. I always thought that acting tools are the closest to a manual for helping us and guiding us how to live life and how to manage it and how to navigate it. Those characters to be believable human beings, and for us, the audience member, to be able to associate and to identify with their stories in some way, require for the actors to train physically train, because if your body is not trained, you're not going to be able to relax. You're not going to be able to relax to reveal the emotions. The emotional training then is going to require of you for each character. So the training is physical, emotional. Who cannot do with a little bit of training, physical, emotional? And learn how to not judge those characters, who cannot do in everyday life, with being able not to judge other people because they have different ideas or they have different ideologies. All of these teachings, all of these tools that are handed over in manuals for actors are so valid for everyday. Acting also provides for the actors portraying the different characters different tactics of how to overcome a challenge and how to be able to work towards winning and how to be able to attain a goal. Who doesn't have a goal in their everyday life? I do. I know I do as a human being. I still want to do more than teach. I still want to do more for my YouTube channel. I always have goals. So many times when in my real life, in my everyday life, I had moments of almost wanting to give up, in the sense of, oh, I'm not good as a teacher. I don't speak English as my first language. So who do I think I am going to teach people in English? But then I allowed a character that I worked on as an actress on, and I allowed that character to give me the hope that I needed for those moments when I felt that I could not be good enough to be able to teach because I don't speak English as my first language. I would think of a character from a previous play that I was in or a session that I was working on as an actress at the actor studio, and I would say to myself, what if I were that character? And that character maybe is not similar in the situation that I'm explaining right now. The character has nothing to do with teaching, but the character who comes in the beginning of the play might not want to come back for the second scene, but the character has no choice. The character has to come back. No matter what happens in the beginning, she may also feel like she's not good enough to be able to, let's say, if her goal was to win over the love of the other character, because the other character doesn't love her back. Well, she doesn't have the option of saying, well, I'm not going to go back out because the other character doesn't love me in the first scene. He's rejecting me. I'm going to go backstage after my first scene. And then guess what? I'm not going to go back. You cannot do that because you have to go on for the story to continue, for the play to continue, because you are responsible to that audience who is coming to see you. You are responsible as an actor to that character to continue the character's fictional life. You don't have the option to say, guess what? I'm so much bigger than life. I'm such a great human being. And you know what? I don't care about the responsibilities that I have. I don't feel that I should go back as a character after the other character, the other actor has rejected me. I'm not going to go back because I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be rejected another time. The character has to go back, keeping on to try to win the objective, which in that situation is, I'm trying to make this man, this other character, love me. Even though I know the play, even though I know the scenario being that he will never love me, but I cannot give up. Even though I know the end of the story, I still have to try different tactics to get that person to love me. That is such a beautiful lesson for life. And I'm not saying that in life you have to go after somebody to love you when you're being rejected numerous times. What I'm saying is you cannot give up from using the first tactic into getting what you want, whatever the goal is. It could be whatever you want in life. You cannot give up. That's the lesson that I take from that character. Do not give up just because you were rejected, just because somebody said no to what your goal is. Keep on going, keep on going. So that's how much learning I, in my personal life, have gained from playing different characters. That's what I mean when I say acting demands of real actors to be truthful, to be real, to be honest. So when everybody associates this B-list celebrity Meghan with acting or performance, or she just did an act, or I just want to say stop, because that's not what acting is. Acting requires you to be the opposite of what her and her husband does. It's completely the opposite. It's requiring of you to be able to work on yourself through your entire life to discover so many different nuances that you have inside of yourself. Admit them, pay attention to them, reveal them through the different characters and the different scenarios that you will play as an actor during your career, if you're lucky, because again, it's very difficult to get to that point of A-list celebrities. And those, I don't even know if a lot of people know, they work all the time with acting coaches. I know that Bradley Cooper was working, even after he became famous, he was working with our first year teacher. May God rest her soul. She passed a couple of years ago. He was working with her. She became his acting coach to work with him on his project. He kept going to her or bringing her to him to help him discover more of who he is. That discovery, there's automatically another lesson for people, because that teaches us that we're not done learning. That teaches us that we cannot be what these two people consider themselves to be, which is we know it all, we're perfect, everybody else is the crazy one, everybody else is to blame, but we are perfect. When somebody says, when a real actor says, I'm done, I know everything, I am the perfect human being, and everybody else has no idea what they're doing because I am superior to everybody else, they would say to you in acting, if that's what you believe, then do not continue being an actor, because that means that you limit yourself and you will not be able to bring and do justice. Those characters need you to do justice to them and make them credible human beings. Tactics, going back to the tactics. So if I am trying to get the love from another person and I tried one tactic, I went out and I said to the other character, hello, I want you to love me back. For example, that's my objective. I want you to love me back. And the character says, well, I don't know if I can because I think you're a little bit older. I don't know if I'm attracted to you physically. Let's just say that's the scenario. I'm just making that up. Do I give up the first time? No, I don't give up. I go back. I go backstage as the character, and then I have to come out in the next scene and I have to come up with another tactic. How else can I go about if the first way of going about to get his love did not work? Maybe the next one is, you know what I'm going to do now? Because me asking him to love me back did not work. I'm going to try to ignore him. I'm going to try to do exactly the opposite of the first tactic in the second one. Let me try ignoring him. Let's see if that works. The reason why I'm bringing up these tactics is because I don't understand, to be honest, when I see a lot of the comments about the invitation given to Harry and Meghan to be part of the coronation of King Charles. People were saying, well, good for them. The royals are showing they are better than Meghan and Harry when playing with characters such as Harry and Meghan, who have shown us who they are over and over again. I think that tactic from the royals is going to backfire. I don't think that tactic of showing generosity to these people will provide the result, which is, oh, we're just going to show the world that we are better, we are still generous, they're still part of our family. I feel that's going to backfire because these two characters, Harry and Meghan, will receive that to be completely the opposite they already have than what the royals are trying to put out there as the message. The way they responded, because they were given a finger. There's a saying in Romanian, when you give someone a finger, they try to take the whole hand. There are those characters who do that. And I believe Harry and Meghan are exactly those people who will never say, listen, I thank you so much for inviting us to the coronation, but we'll go on to take the whole hand, which is exactly what they did. Because of the invitation they had for the coronation, what did they come out to say immediately after? Oh, this is my thinking of what they were thinking. We've done our Netflix series where we have come out with all these untruths where we had to provide no evidence for. And this is, again, Netflix. I have no idea how anybody can do that. But so they said, okay, we've done this. We've shown the bad guys being the royal family. Some people believe that. Most of us did not. But there are people who believed what they're saying. And that still confuses the heck out of me because I don't understand how anybody can believe all of those scenarios they came up with without thinking to why there are missing details, why there are missing specifics from them. Everything was so general and just, it to me doesn't make sense that people believe them, but there are people who believe them. What they do with that invitation immediately after, okay, well, we got them. They say we got them to invite us because they're scared of what else we're going to be able to put out there. So the royals are playing into their trap. We're going to come. So they're reversing the invitation as if to say, we're the ones that we're going to decide if we're going to come, if we're going to accept the invitation. And the only way we're going to accept it is if we also get an apology. The apology has to do with the other incident that happened with the royals and this woman that was being asked by one of the members of the royal family. I forget her name. I apologize for that. The whole controversial situation with one of the royals asking this woman about her background. And then she went out to say it because she's Black, that she was asked of her background due to the fact that she was Black. So she was trying to bring the racist weapon into the whole thing. And then the royal family went and asked their royal member to apologize to her. You're giving them confirmation that what they're saying is the truth when it is not. I feel like I'm all over the place, but it's okay. What I'm trying to say is that when they're saying now they will accept the invitation to the coronation, but they also want an apology, that's exactly what I was saying. You can't go and apply the same tactic to these two characters as you, the royal family, would have applied that tactic to somebody who is an honest human being, who would be able to say, we accept the invitation. Even though we have said so many horrible things, and even though we have put you down and we have made the population on this earth to believe you, the royals, are the bad villains in our story, for you to give us an invitation to the coronation means so much to us. We appreciate it. They will never do that. They will take that to mean they have won, they're the winners, and they will return with something else they will be asking for, which is, we will come to the coronation. We want an apology at the same time. Apology for what? They should be the one apologizing for making a film on Netflix without any evidence to everything they're talking about. They should be apologizing to the rest of us, to the audiences, for believing that we are not as smart to see all of those missing details in their so-called reality docuseries. They should be apologizing for being ungrateful with the platform they both have. They should be apologizing for the lies and the lies and the lies. I think that's all I wanted to say for today. I want to say again, thank you so much. To let me know what you think of this, as it would mean so much to me, because I want to improve myself in the way that I continue with my channel and the videos. Another thing that I was thinking I would love to do, as I do a lot of sessions online with different people, different actors, different other professionals, not necessarily actors or involved in the entertainment business. And I was thinking that maybe later on we can do a session so I can reveal some of the exercises in practice, in detail, so you can have a better understanding of these acting tools. Maybe use them in your everyday life if you find it necessary, or if you want to give it a try. Kisses.